Hello, welcome to my channel. In this channel, I'm gonna share with you my chart analysis on cryptocurrency and stock market, as well as my current position size, my entries and exits, and the rationales behind that. So yesterday we saw a 11% plus on the Bitcoin, and it was the biggest single day gain since last June actually, and it was the first major bounce after weeks, as we can see. Even though we don't know whether the momentum can continue in the near future, I thought it could be a very good moment for me to summarize my trades during the past weeks and share my key takeaways with you. So during the past month, I totally made 3 attempts. Again, I would like to emphasize that every single trade that I do is strictly based on quantified criteria. It's never based upon my guess or my bet. I'm gonna show you my first attempt to enter was here because I spotted a bottom structure here. However, I exit here because it created new low, and here it was my second attempt, because I spotted once again the bottom structure and I exit here because the price creates new low and the bottom structure was destroyed. So here comes my third entry. And in my previous video, I explained that I also have an exit plan, which is if the price creates new low, it means that my third attempt could be wrong and I need to exit. So as you can see so far, it hasn't happened. And with the long green candlestick happened yesterday, it's kind of good news that maybe I will not need to exit pretty soon. So these are my 3 attempts here during the past month. The key takeaways I would like to share with you, number 1 is that you have to be consistent in the way you trade. When you see a definitive point for entry, you need to be daring to try and enter. You need to keep trying, be consistent, and never give up. Here you need faith. Just an example, if you try just one time, you fail, you try another time, you fail, and then you lost the faith and you stop trying, then all these losses you took, it would be in vain. We know it's difficult to take the one shot and get a bottom. It's difficult. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Sometimes we can have it, like I also did it before, with one shot and get a bottom. But we have to know that in trading, the good luck doesn't always accompany us. Somehow this is also the charm of it. That's why we need to keep trying, keep the faith, and be consistent. And the second key takeaway is that with every entry, you have to have an exit plan. Why? Take an example here. Here I entered, I exit, I enter, I exit, because both times it proved that my entry was wrong. And then I have the full fund to be able to enter again. So the loss I took from my first trial is from here to here. And the second time the loss I took was from here to here. So I calculated for both, for the 2 attempts, I lost about 6 to 7%. However, I have the full fund that was ready for my 3rd attempt. Okay, but if you don't have an exit plan like I did, if you bought here and you try to hold because you believe, okay, the bottom will come sooner or later, I don't care, I just hold. Let's see how much drop you have to experience. 28%. So minus 6% versus minus 28%. Which one is easier to handle psychologically? We're only talking about if here is the bottom And what if here is not the bottom? And what if the market will keep dropping again and again? And imagine if you don't have any exit plan and you enter here and you keep holding it, believing that market will sooner or later reach the bottom. You will have to suffer how much percentage of the drop without knowing when it will be an end. Maybe some people can say, doesn't matter, I still have money, so when it goes down, I buy more. And when it goes further down, I buy more. But my question to you is how much more money you have to inject and where is the bottom? So it's important to have an exit plan that keeps you safe in the market, minimum risk to take. And this is actually my third key takeaways to share with you. Because for me, to invest in the stock market is a psychological game, and it consistently challenges to the weakness in humanity. So we know that it's impossible for us to eliminate all the weakness in humanity, but with a consistent trading system, it can help us minimize the risk brought by this weakness. Okay, so try not to challenge your limits. So the best way is to have a consistent trading system that you strictly follow for a long term. So now let's back to the chart analysis. Now we're in the daily time frame. So what does it mean yesterday? This long green candlestick. I know that many people got excited again and saying it's the reversal started. I'm happy with this green candlestick, but I'm not overexcited. I will tell you why. I can't deny I'm also happy. Why? Because it kind of shows that all my consistency and persistence kind of pay back with this long green candlestick. But I'm not overly excited because as far as I could see, currently we are still in the scale of wave 4. So if we are in a wave 4, we have to anticipate that there will be a wave 5. Honestly, I'm not sure how the market will go. All depends on whether the momentum of the acceleration can continue. This is most important. And then with just this one large green candlestick, we cannot judge whether the market is already started its reversal or it's in its wave 4 and then will be further down, or it will be like just a big wave 1 here and we are just on the wave 2 rebound. After that will be a wave 3. These are 3 kinds of possibilities, and only with this green bar we cannot judge where the market will lead us to. So when we cannot confirm, we have to take every step cautiously and monitor closely the market trend and analyze every day whether one of the possibilities becomes more prominent than the others. When there's no certainty, you don't have to give market a confirmation. So in my videos, you can see a lot of waves that I analyze. However, I have to tell you that the waves are just giving us some references for anticipation on what kind of situation we're in and where the market could go. However, the wave was never one of my criteria for trading. Why? Because 1,000 people will draw 1,000 different kind of waves. There's no single unique criteria. That's why it's difficult to follow. So as long as the price doesn't drop below this line, we can still consider that we're in a wave 2 correction, and possibly we will start a wave 3. So that is all what I can tell from the current situation and current chart of the Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at S&P 500. Not much to say here because the direction is not clear. I told you in my previous video that I have sold 40% here because the price dropped below the lower bound of short-term trend, and I sold another 60% here because the price dropped below the lower bound of long-term trend to minimize my risk. So until now, I didn't enter because actually I wanted to enter on February 3rd because the closing of February 2nd, the price broke out both long-term and short-term trend. So I was ready to follow my discipline, my trading system, to enter again on February 3rd. However, with this large green candlestick with minus 2.44, the price dropped below the both long-term and short-term trend. So I have to say I'm kind of lucky here. But hey, that's life. And you know that in trading, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get unlucky. So as long as you stick to your trading system and the good lucks and bad lucks, they're evenly spread. Okay. So yeah, as I said, I was quite lucky this time. I didn't enter. So by the closing of yesterday, still the price was below both long-term and short-term trend. So that's why I didn't enter. So in trading, sometimes you get good lucks, sometimes you get bad lucks. These are something just totally out of our controls. So as long as we stick to our own trading system and deliver consistent tradings, at least to ourselves, when good luck and bad luck happens, or especially the bad luck happens, we will not blame ourselves for doing something wrong because we did the right thing. We did everything that is within our control correctly. What's out of our control is the only thing we have to respect and accept. Another thing to mention about S&P 500, now we're looking at 1 hour time frame. And on Thursday, on the end of Thursday, I twittered that if we're in the 1 hour wave 4, then most likely the first hour on Friday will be the starting point of wave 5. So on Friday, the market did rebound. However, we don't know until this moment, we cannot say whether it's the real wave 5. So as long as the price doesn't break out through the previous high, we cannot say it's wave 5, but it's a possibility. This is what I indicated in my Thursday's Twitter. If you want to ask me how would I see the S&P 500 go from now, honestly, I do not know. There are still some possibilities, whether it could be just the first phase of the drop, and now we're in the rebound, and then the market will start wave 3 drop correction, or it's just a V shape here. This is out of my control or analysis, so we don't know. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, we don't have to always give market a direction because we need more signals with certainties to be able to tell whether there's a higher possibility the market will go this way or the other way. So for me, currently, it's unclear. As long as the price doesn't break out through the previous high, we cannot say we're in a reversal. Okay? And as long as the price doesn't go below the previous low, we cannot say the wave 3 correction has started. So we need to be more patient and wait until the situation gets clearer. This is all what I can tell on the S&P 500. So now let's take a look at the France CAC40. I told you in my previous video that I'm still having 20% of a position which I bought back in March 2020, and since I don't anticipate the market will drop that far, I want to keep my 20% of the position to deal with the fluctuation So when the price broke out the long-term trend, so I bought back 40% of my position on January 28th. Then on the end of February 2nd, the price actually stood above the short-term trend. So according to my rule, I should be topping up my position to 100%. But I did a little bit of fine-tune here by postponing the 40% position purchase. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because as you can see here, this is the TD series, and this is one of the indicators I use as a reference. Again, it is a reference. It is not my absolute criteria for trading, but these many times give a super good reference whether the price will start to turn in the next candlesticks. One thing have to be clear is that why I didn't use the TD series as one of my trading criteria, because many times it's not effective, meaning that we see here a high 9 and then the price can keep going up and doesn't turn. So in those times, the TD series were not effective. However, the reason I'm using them is that when the 9 happens at the time you want to enter or exit the market, it could be a very good indicator that you can reconsider whether you want to enter or exit at this time, or you want to do a little bit of fine-tune and trade a bit later. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that you don't trade, because when your criteria appears, you need to enter or exit. But with the 9, with the TD series, this can help you to have a better entry or exit. So let me try to explain a little bit more details here, because actually, according to the closing price on this day, I should be topping up another 40% of my position because the price stood above the short-term trend. Okay, and why I decided to fine-tune a little bit and postpone my entry, because I see a 9 here. So when there's a high 9 here appearing, I should at least consider the possibility of the next candlestick turning and going down. So my strategy was I postpone my entry and I observe. So if the price is going down after this 9, meaning that my fine-tuned strategy is right, and I could seek whether there could be another bottom that I could spot it and entry, or my correction measure would be when the price coming back and break out the price at the point of 9, that will be my entry again. So this is all what I want to share this week. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.